Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tiffany Ave Talks, where I talk to people I like about things I like. Today, I have someone who does not lack at all when it comes to various areas of creativity. He wears many hats beyond the ones you may have seen in his online illustrations. If you know, you know, but we'll talk about it just in case. He is a producer, podcaster, author, comedian, and business owner, Dion Lack. Welcome.
Hey, you've been doing your research. Hey, lovely, lovely. Thank you.
You're very
Be
welcome.
here.
Thank you for being a guest on my show. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm refreshed. I had a great morning. Things are going swell, and I'm ready to start the day off. We are 3 hours ahead of you, so
Hmm.
it's still morning here. So
Oh. Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to talk. Because you do so many things in the creative space, I wanted to learn more about your journey, get your take on managing the various roles that you have and how it all connects, plus much more. So, first, I want to start from the beginning. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You started as a comedian, still doing
Yes.
comedy, of course, in different facets. So, what drew you into comedy?
So, just being a class clown all through high school. My parents was always trying to, get me to tell jokes and do skits in front of the family. I had a group of friends. We called ourselves the Reese Boys.
Hmm.
Uh, it was four dark skinned guys and one peanut butter colored guy, if you want to call them
Okay.
Reese Boys. And we just did a bunch of sketches and jokes and stuff. And then I think junior and senior year, I was always requested to host like talent shows.
Hmm.
And when you do talent shows, you are forced to tell jokes or forced to entertain people.
Hmm.
And then I would say I'm using this loosely. I would say a clip went viral, but it wasn't a clip because it was literally like a VCR tape.
Yeah.
People, people kept watching a segment of me making fun of one of the teachers, and I burnt this tape a bunch of times. I'm sorry, I'm from the 1900s. I know you still a baby. VCR
91.
tapes are.
That's 1900.
So yeah, people were burning this tape, and they were kind of watching the fact that I kept calling this woman a red disco ball, and she because of that she did not wear red ever again.
Oh.
So after that, long story short, I made it to Los Angeles, live with my aunt, and then my cousin found out about the situation. Was like, "We gotta get you on stage."
Mhm.
I know you came out here to act, but we gotta get you on stage. And I was lucky to connect with a friend of mine named Mad Marv, and he was a veteran in LA, the comedy world,
Mhm.
and he took me to numerous places. But he was a hood comedian,
Mhm.
and we didn't go nowhere above the 10 freeway. If you know about Los Angeles, that means you didn't mess with Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, Ha Ha Cafe, any of those places. So I was a hood comedian for like 1 year.
Mhm.
um, then I start, when you do comedy enough, you start meeting your crew of people. And then from there, you just kind of just branch off and people want to do more stuff, sketches and want to write for you. You know, and you start to branch off from there.
Okay. So it sounds like you had a lot of support in doing comedy. I know a lot of times, sometimes I hear comedians say when they want to be a comedian, they tell people, like people kind of like, they're not the most supportive um,
Right.
of that. So that's good. Do you have like any comedic inspiration?
Inspiration. My all-time favorite comedian back in the 90s, Martin Lawrence. You So Crazy was probably my favorite stand up special. And
Hmm.
then I was a huge fan of Bring the Pain and Bigger and Blacker by Chris Rock. Um, Dave Chappelle Killing Me Softly. Um, a couple Bill Burr uh, segments. But yeah, that's my early inspiration.
Okay. So with doing stand up, you've been doing it for a while and you've watched like the landscape evolve or lack thereof because, we're in a really sensitive era and a lot of times comedians feel that it kind of hinders the craft. What's your take on the current state of comedy?
So it's a new phrase that the young people say: stand on business. All right. If you believe it, stand on it. Stand
Mhm.
on it. If you honestly believe that this is your take on it, you have to speak your truth, but find the humor in it and translate it to people. So
Mhm.
you can't just be like direct and mean to people. You
Yeah.
can't be direct and just like, I hate you.
Yeah.
Very mean. But you gotta tell people why you hate this person. So to
Mhm.
make it relatable. So anything can be offensive. People can
Mhm.
make anything funny, but you have to translate your humor to the audience.
Okay. Yeah,
Simple as
that
that.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So you also create music. You do the end
Oh.
of the year wrap up with your daughter, which is lovely. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But something I noticed in music is like new acts, they typically have like a cosign, someone to kind of put their stamp on the person if they're with a crew or whatever. Does that happen in comedy?
Yeah. So I would say you do stand up enough. You do enough shows. People will be like, I want you to open up for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be my opener. I
Okay.
want you, or just like Chris Rock had co-signed Leslie Jones to do SNL. So, he was like, "Yo, you gotta see this girl. Like, you gotta
Okay.
see this girl. She's funny. Like, you that's the cosign of like agencies like, hey, we're looking for some new talent. Who do you recommend? You get like a recommendation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you think that that's necessary in comedy, or do you think, well, I know it helps it a lot, but do you think without that you can still reach that level of success?
Yeah, so there's a lot of comedians who stated themselves, but at the same time, networking is everything out here in LA. Relationships is everything. There's a couple comedians who are so funny that they don't need network, but people are like, yo, you got to see this guy. You got to see this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But this person is not speaking to nobody. So
Mm-hmm.
if he's just that funny, you would get recommendations from other people. You would get
Okay.
recommendations of you got to see this guy. But a normal modern day like comedian, you have to network and ask, go to parties, go to mixers, go to
Mm-hmm.
birthday parties and events and network and you become a vibe to people. You become like, I like to hang out with you,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes people go on tour just because I enjoy hanging out with you. You won't be annoying. You won't be weird. You won't get no sexual allegations or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
so,
Absolutely.
so it really is about like relationships. Even in the world, it's not even about comedy.
That's true. I
I'm
was
I'm almost certain that your job, which I don't even know what you have, is about relationships. Like, I'm
okay.
sure somebody was like, yeah, she's good. You should hire her.
Mm-hmm.
My jobs have been recommendations. I've never got a job from Zip Recruiter. Never got a job from Yo Daddy. What is it? Go Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or yeah, maybe.
I've never got an online job just from throwing a dart at the wall. It's always
That's so
about
true.
recommendations.
That's so true. Okay. Well, in addition to comedy, you are also an author. So I want to talk about you publishing your books, Voyage of Truth, Part One and Part Two. Um,
Yes.
was that a natural transition from like writing jokes to writing books, or what was that process like?
No, it was a shock to me, honestly. So
Mhm.
well, here we go. This is actually this can contradict what I just said. This book started off as a joke.
Okay.
The analogy of it started off as a joke.
Hmm.
And then I kept building this world of the joke. So now this joke became, I was like, I think I can write a sketch of this. And then that
Hmm.
sketch became like, I think I can write a script of this.
Hmm.
Wait a second. Then I was like, this world is becoming too big that I need to create a book. And then around this time, the inspiration was J.K. Rowling's and Game of Thrones books. I was like, oh, this might be the new move right here.
Hmm.
So sci-fi was hot. I was definitely inspired. I set myself down, got off of social media, made it to libraries, coffee shops, and just busted my butt. And it took a while because once you started getting a story, you got to keep moving things around, and it's not like a script. Like you got to go through paragraphs and try to find things where things are at.
Hmm.
Um, 4 years to write the first book.
Wow.
But at the same time, I was bouncing around doing comedy and other sketches and stuff. So that's what took so long. And then once you get so far removed from the story, you got to get back.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get your mind back into the continuity of it. So that's why it took so long. But the second book I knocked out real quick because I knew I didn't want to go through that again.
Okay. Well, you also have a couple of podcasts where you collaborate with other talented individuals to create. So I think this kind of, touch back to what you were saying about networking and, just building relationships. But can you talk about, like, I guess when it comes to podcasts, the importance of working with other creators or comedians?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, relationships. Who do you enjoy working with? Who do you enjoy laughing with?
Mm-hmm.
And podcast is literally just trying to find the best segment for Instagram, TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
um, talking points.
Yeah.
Because once a clip goes viral, it brings eyes to your podcast. It's really hard to just a podcast taking off raw, just from YouTube. Of course, you can send out to numerous people from links, but have somebody watch or listen to an hour of your podcast is crazy. So yeah, I would say yeah, I have Lacaroni and Chaz and Random Mass Conversations with Twilla. Those are the two podcasts that I'm under right now. So, well, I'm also a feature on Squadcast and
Mm-hmm.
Daddy Issues. That's one of my two big features I do. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think are some qualities? I know you said that, you want to enjoy the environment of working with people. What do you think, like, some of the best qualities that people have that make you enjoy working with them?
I like yes and people, or if you are familiar with improv, is just agree with me, have fun with it. Not say agree with everything I say, but don't
Mm-hmm.
shut everything down and start like insulting me. Now we're arguing on camera. So if I say something that's peculiar or wrong, laugh at it. Make this a segment. If I say, yeah, I think fishes are animals, and you like, no, they're not. Like, why not? We're arguing back and forth, and it's like now we're working through the idea of is fishes an animal or is it a mammal? Is it an amphibian? Like we're trying to work through it. That is a good segment versus having somebody like you stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That was dumb. That's the dumbest thing you ever said. Yes, I can go viral, but that hurts me. Like now I gotta fight through that. Now I gotta insult you back.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, so let's have fun with this. That's the people I like to work with.
Okay. How do you feel comedy, podcasting, being an author, how do you feel like those things, well, do those things connect for you or do you approach them separately?
Yeah, it's world building.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my type of stand up is very descriptive. It's a lot of what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
My podcast is a lot of what ifs. I'm a storyteller, so that already translates into writing. Writing scripts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I think they're all connected by just storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your intro, I referred to your illustrations because it's something that's kind of like taken over when you're a guest on shows. So the drawing Dion saga. So when I watch that, I'm just gonna tell you how I perceive it. So it feels like you don't like it a little bit, but then it also feels like you do like it. It's very entertaining. So I just wanted to know your real thoughts on it.
It is entertaining because now this segment is about me. I do it for the audience of I don't like this. Stop doing this, y'all. Stop doing this. It's
Uh
old.
huh.
But now I know that this segment is going to be about me, and I'm definitely using that as a clip. So if they are let's draw Dion, let's draw. I'm like, no, don't do it, y'all, don't do it. I played a little role, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm like, I'm definitely going to screenshot this and
Okay.
yeah, and it's engagement, because people will start to follow me and send me a picture of me and draw that they drew of me. So it was like it helps.
Okay.
Why you got a picture of me you draw?
No comment. So, the year-end wrap up that you do with your daughter, it's almost like I feel like it's kind of like the male version of like Beyonce and Blue because it's like
Hmm.
representation.
Yeah.
I feel like one black fathers with their daughters is not really it's in the media, but they try to like put like stigmas on that, so I feel like that's important for people to see, and
Mhm.
it adds the element of storytelling in hip hop, which I feel like is almost lost um
Yes.
in a lot of new music. So one, how did it come about, and then like how do you keep track of important events that of the year?
Yeah, easy work. 2000, I would say up into 2014, we would always send out like Christmas pictures to people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's boring. It will just be like, "Hey, the Lack family,
Mm-hmm.
this is who we are. Happy holidays." And I was like, I really think it would be better if we did a video of a recap
Mm-hmm.
of that year of what happened. So at that time I was doing a lot of dialogue rap with comedians. So I was like, I think it would be great if I did dialogue rap with my family, and it would allow us to tell stories and be making fun of each other. It's comedy, it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's comedic, and we're having fun telling the story of what happened that year.
Mm-hmm.
And you know things lined up and we went viral. We That was the first video on my page that went viral.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then once we got that early bug, my kids were already in. They were excited. They wanted to keep rapping. Because we got interviewed by like the People magazine and like Huffington Post.
Mm-hmm.
And we almost got on Ellen. They reached out to us, but it was some sort of you know wires crossed. But then from there, it was just like, all right, guys, we doing 2015. What happened this year? Everybody tell me what happened now. Just, I'll write everything down. And then that was easy work.
Okay. So with the year and wrap up, a lot of times, and with like children, we think about like generations and also kind of leads into legacy. So this is my final question, and I just want to ask you all of the things that you do. What would you like your legacy to be like when people think of Dion Black?
Man, that's a beautiful question. Beautiful. Um, I want to make an impact in anybody's life that I've touched. I say this a lot jokingly,
Mm-hmm.
but if I do something free for somebody, if I do something out of my heart, quietly, discreetly, I always say, I just want to be in your biopic because I believe
Okay.
I want my legacy to be as clean as possible. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, I don't want to be like your boy in New York right now, whose legacy is falling apart.
Yeah.
To make an impact, I want to be memorable. I want all my videos to be a story of who I was, all my podcast appearances. So I'm leaving a diary of who I am. This is the first time somebody asked this question. That's beautiful because I'm already thinking of like this could be like the documentary question. I want my children to continue what we started with
Mm-hmm.
their family. Hopefully, they can continue the Christmas rap
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the family.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go bigger. I want funding for the Christmas rap. I want somebody to shoot and edit it themselves. I want to have a healthy life. I want my legacy to be Dion Lack was a great man and he was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I feel like in one of my, I guess, appeals to doing art, like in various forms, and I think I kind of realized this when Michael Jackson passed away. Um, when you create art, like a part of you never leaves, because that art is always like attainable.
Yeah.
It lives on, new people discover it. So I think that's the beautiful thing about being a comedian or doing movies, music, whatever. Like it's always a piece of you.
Yeah.
So that was my last question,
What do
actually.
what is your legacy? What do you want to be left behind? Let's go ahead and put you on the spot right now.
I wasn't expecting that.
Uh-huh.
So with me, like I want to be established in the content world. I do various things right now with like web series, like reaction videos, that type of things. But I would really like to do interviews, like full time, getting to know people that create and make an impact. And then through that, I would like to make an impact um, and reach into other areas of entertainment, like directing or maybe acting or something like that. One of my role models is Beyonce. I just want to, I can't sing, so I just want to find things that I'm good at so people can look at and feel that they can do something special. I'm from a small town, and I feel like a lot of opportunities aren't available. So a lot of people don't develop those interests. So I would like to be an advocate for people in smaller towns who are also talented to get opportunities, and just kind of advocate for like the underdog kind of.
Lovely. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
keep at it, man. Don't get discouraged. This is my advice to anybody. I
Mm-hmm.
won't say don't get stagnant or frustrated from the lack of views or the rejection of I can't do it. Don't get frustrated by um, I'm not feeling it today or something like that, because even I've been doing this podcasting for at least like 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
The views ain't pretty. So you definitely gotta stay consistent, have fun with it. Find a podcast or a segment that you find attractive, and just let me kind of remix this in my own version because I'm attracted to this for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
and just make your own version of it. Got to keep tweaking things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to win. I've seen some of your stuff. You're funny.
Thank you.
You're a sweetheart,
Thank you.
and I want to see you on the top.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Very nice. Before we go, with you doing this interview, I feel like I'm officially like a castmate with you. So while we were recording, I have a little sketch here.
That's funny.
So
Wow.
I'm gonna send it to you, and
Wow.
it may be a part of this cover art. I don't know yet.
Yes. Yes. I
But
will repost it. That's
okay. Well, again, thank you so much for doing this interview. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you all for watching. Dion Lex on social media is at Dion Lex on Instagram. So be sure to follow him. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Tiffany Ave Takes. I'm also on Instagram at Tiffany Ave Takes. And thank you for watching.